Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I am V. Ravi Kumar and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। प्रतिदिन की तरह आज भी हम आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार के ताजा समाचार आप तक लाएंगे और साथ ही विशेषज्ञ के साथ चर्चा भी करेंगे। चर्चा के लिए आज हमारे साथ ऑनलाइन आमंत्रित हैं आर्थिक मामलों के जानकार जयंता दास। जयंता, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत।
शुक्रिया।
और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ वी रवि कुमार।
Equity benchmarks log losses of around 1%, Sensex falls 422 points, Nifty slips 98 points. Ahead of the US Fed meet, global stocks remain mixed amid concerns of surging COVID-19 infections. And gold rises to 53,797 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital.
प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांकों में 1% से अधिक की गिरावट। सेंसेक्स 422 अंक गिरा, निफ्टी 98 अंक फिसला। कोविड-19 के नए मामले सामने आने और अमेरिकी फेडरल रिजर्व की बैठक से पहले वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों में मिला-जुला कारोबार। और दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में सोने के दाम बढ़कर 53,797 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर पहुंचे। और शुरुआत सबसे पहले आज की बड़ी खबर से। प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांकों में 1% से अधिक की गिरावट दर्ज की गई है। रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज और एचडीएफसी बैंक जैसे दिग्गज शेयरों में मुनाफा वसूली के चलते आज प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांकों में 1% से अधिक की गिरावट देखी गई। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 1.1% के नुकसान से 422 अंक गिरकर 38,071 पर बंद हुआ, जबकि नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी 98 अंक फिसलकर 0.8% के नुकसान के साथ 11,203 पर आ गया। हालांकि व्यापक बाजार में मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप का प्रदर्शन सेंसेक्स से बेहतर रहा। मिड कैप इंडेक्स 0.68% गिरा, तो वहीं स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.43% की गिरावट देखी गई।
Equity benchmark Sensex today plunged more than 1% as profit booking emerged in index heavyweights, Reliance Industries and HDFC Bank. The BSE Sensex ended 422 points or 1.1% lower at 38,071, while the NSE Nifty tumbled 98 points or 0.86% to 11,203. In the broader market at the BSE, the mid-cap and small-cap outperformed the Sensex. The mid-cap closed 0.68% down and the small-cap slipped 0.43%. Reliance Industries was the top loser in the Sensex pack, dropping nearly 4%, followed by Nestle India, HCL Tech, M&M, HDFC Bank, Maruti and Tech Mahindra. On the other hand, IndusInd Bank, Tata Steel, Sun Pharma, Bajaj Finance, L&T and SBI were among the gainers. According to traders, besides stock-specific profit booking, domestic market participants were also cautious ahead of US Federal Reserve's policy outcome. Concerns over the rising number of COVID-19 cases also spooked investors after India's tally went past 15 lakh yesterday, 2 days after it crossed the 14 lakh mark, with 48,513 fresh cases recorded in a day. Jayanto, are you in line with us?
Yeah.
Jayanto, how do you see this market? I mean, there's this entire discussion about the market being largely fueled by hope and liquidity. But how long do you think it will sustain?
Well, I guess hope and greed is what develops the market, right? So, I guess those driving factors will remain. But, at the end of the day, what I believe is we had a fairly strong run. And I'll not be surprised with these, profit booking measures coming in and getting triggered after these good runs, And at this point of time, the global headwinds are not something to be very, proud of or very promising with the pandemic. Although, in many of the nations being controlled, and if not the curve being flattened, at least the curve has been controlled to some extent. But the uncertainties have still not been wished away. speaking of our domestic markets, we have seen in India, while the major cities which started with a really bad note like Delhi and Mumbai, the cases have to some extent been lowered, but the cases in the satellite states and other satellite cities are actually on the rise. So these sorts of uncertainties would remain, and at this point of time, I believe that such profit bookings would happen. And specifically today's shortfall has been because of Reliance's 4% slump, which I guess was coming in the horizon because Reliance had a really good run given its recent spate of disinvestments and news and all.
If you look at it logically, I mean, of course, the markets have a way of going the counterintuitive direction.
Sure.
If it look at the high of the market, almost 42,000, probably a logical, intuitive value the market should be at this point in time, probably around 40-50% down from its high. Currently, almost 10% lower than what its high was.
Exactly.
Is that a danger? And also, at the same time, you see a lot of money driving towards gold. Is that indicating something?
Well, the price of gold, which is meteoric rates at this point of time, is majorly driven by the US dollar, which is weakened considerably. So I guess there is an asset reallocation happening on that side, with people focusing on gold as an investment strategy, leading to his dream run. But having said that, I think I completely agree with you. I personally wouldn't be not very comfortable at the levels at which the market are in at that moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fairly moderately downfall period of say around 2,000 to 3,000 points being taken off the market at this point of time. And I still would say that the markets are doing very well. But at the end of the day, I think we are at quite a precarious heights at this point of time. I don't want to spread scare or anything of that sort amongst our listeners, but I think these are very cautious times where you should go and pick in your property, pick in your stocks to invest in. And at least at these levels, I don't think it's a very healthy level. But yes, if you have exits planned, I think these are perfect opportunities going for the exit. And then again, wait for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks or 6 weeks for the market to pan down further. But I completely agree with you, and I have, without any doubt, can say these levels, just 10% short of what the historic high of the markets are, given the overall global environment, I think are not something to be completely running on decent fundamentals. Why decent fundamentals? Even I don't see much of green shoots in that sense.
जी जयंता, बाजार की अनिश्चितता की बात आपने करी और ये अनिश्चितता कब तक जारी रहने वाली है इसके बारे में कुछ ठीक से नहीं कुछ भी प्रिडिक्ट नहीं किया जा सकता। अर्थव्यवस्था में सुधार हो रहा है, लेकिन बहुत थोड़ा धीरे धीरे सुधार हो रहा है और कई सेक्टरों में अभी भी मदद की दरकार सरकार से है, एविएशन खासतौर पर, होटल और ऑटो सेक्टर में। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि अभी भी जो है एक सामान्य हाउस होल्ड जो है और ये जो बिजनेस है, जो कारोबार जगत है, उसको अभी भी कुछ रिलीफ मेजर्स की जरूरत है सरकार की तरफ से? क्योंकि अगर ये अनसर्टेनिटी बनी रहती है, अनिश्चितता बनी रहती है, अनिश्चितता का माहौल बना रहता है, तो आगे चल करके जो हाउस होल्ड है वो सेविंग करेगा बजाय स्पेंडिंग के, सेविंग पे ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहेगा। तो आपको लगता है कि सरकार की तरफ से कुछ और आर्थिक उपायों की जरूरत है?
देखिए, ये सरकार का तरफ जो आर्थिक सहायता किसी भी तरह अगर आते हैं, डायरेक्टली आता है, इनडायरेक्टली आता है, स्कीम्स का दौरान आते हैं, ये एक वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है, ये चलते रहेंगे। मैं नहीं मानता हूँ कि इस वक्त सरकार ने या किसी ने भी ये निर्णय ले सकता है कि भाई आगे हम और करें या आगे हम अभी रोक दे, थोड़ा और इंतजार करें। ये एक वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है, ये हिसाब का अनुसार सब चलते रहेंगे। आपने जो खास बात किया, जो एक चिंता का विषय है कि स्थिति इस वक्त जो है खास करके भारत में, अगर कोविड के नंबर्स के बारे में बात करें, हालांकि दिल्ली, मुंबई, अहमदाबाद, ये सारे शहर में जो आंकड़े आ रहा है, इस वक्त माना जा रहा है कि थोड़ा बहुत कर्व को हम कंट्रोल कर पाए। ये नहीं कि हम कह सकते कि ये जीत है हमारे, क्योंकि दीज आर वेरी अर्ली डेज। मैं दोनों राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री की बात कर रहा हूँ, दोनों ने कहा कि भाई दीज आर वेरी अर्ली डेज, देयर कैन ऑलवेज बी अ सेकेंड वेव या थर्ड वेव, राइट? जैसे हमने केरला में देखा, एक सेकेंड वेव का दौर चल रहा है इस वक्त। लेकिन चिंता ये है कि इस वक्त ऑलमोस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में जिस तरह से कोरोना जगह पहुंचे हैं, और मेरे ख्याल से 200 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में 1000 से भी ज्यादा केसेस है एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, आउट ऑफ जो टोटल नंबर ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है। ये थोड़ा बहुत एक चिंता का विषय है। वजह इसलिए क्योंकि देखिए, दिल्ली, बॉम्बे में जिस तरह का एक हेल्थ केयर होके रखा था, जहां पे हम लोग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बहुत बड़ा चिंता कर रहे थे कि रातों रात अस्पताल भी शायद हमें ना मिले अगर किसी को कोरोना हो, गांव में या डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ये स्थिति अगर अचानक ज्यादा तेज हो जाता है तो हम लोग बेसिक हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी प्रोवाइड करने का स्थिति में नहीं है। तो ये सारी चीजें देखिए इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी को किसी न किसी तरह से डायरेक्टली कहीं ना कहीं नुकसान पहुंचाएंगे। और जैसे आपने कहा कि एक नॉर्मल हाउस होल्ड जो है
जी,
चाहे सिर्फ नॉर्मल हाउस होल्ड क्यों, आप हर स्तर का अगर हाउस होल्ड के बारे में बात करें, इवन इन द लग्जरी सेगमेंट का अगर हम बात करें, इस वक्त लोग खर्चा कोई करेंगे नहीं।
जी,
वजह इसलिए एक तो उनका जो आय है उस आय में कहीं ना कहीं से चोट पहुंचा है, और दूसरा जिनका आय में शायद इस वक्त चोट अभी तक पहुंचे नहीं है, अलग से नुकसान नहीं हुए हैं, जिनको सोचिए सैलरी के तौर से आ रहा है या अपना बिजनेस जो हालांकि मुश्किल से 2-4-5% बिजनेस ही है जो इस वक्त अपना बैलेंस शीट मेंटेन कर पाए या अपना रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम मेंटेन कर पाए या कैश मेंटेन कर पाए, वो सारे बिजनेसेस भी एक अलग से खर्चा करने के बारे में 10 बार सोचेंगे। वजह इसलिए क्योंकि अनिश्चितता का जो दौर चल रहा है ये आने वाले 3-4-5 महीने जारी रहेंगे, और ऐसे स्थिति में अनिश्चितता के रूप में लोग एसेंशियल खर्चा करते हैं, उससे आगे कुछ नहीं करते। और इसका एक ट्रिगर इफेक्ट होता है, हम सबको पता है, जहाँ पे आज का तारीख में अगर आपका जितना एसेंशियल जो आपका रिक्वायरमेंट है, आपका खाना हो गया, आपका दवाई हो गया, आप करेंगे, आप जाके कमीज नहीं खरीदेंगे, आप जाके जीन्स नहीं खरीदेंगे, या उस तरह का कुछ कंजम्पशन आप नहीं करेंगे जिसमें खासकर की इकोनॉमी में ट्रिगर इफेक्ट के द्वारा इकोनॉमी में ग्रोथ होता है। तो ये अनिश्चितता का प्रभाव मार्केट में होना चाहिए, स्टॉक मार्केट में, जो हम सीधे रूप से देख नहीं पा रहे हैं, जो थोड़ी देर पहले हम विस्तृत रूप से आलोचना भी कर रहे थे कि इस स्तर पे जो मार्केट चल रहा है क्या ये चिंता का विषय हमें होना चाहिए कि नहीं। और ये कहीं ना कहीं अगर जो तालमेल नहीं बैठ रहा है, ये सबसे बड़ा चिंता का विषय है कि इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी देखिए वापस आ रहा है, अभी अनलॉकडाउन का बात किया जा रहा है और अनलॉक 3 का भी बात अभी इस वक्त शुरू होने वाला है अगस्त से। तो ऐसी स्थिति में कोशिशें हो रहा है बड़े बड़े शहरों में इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी को वापस ले आए, मार्केट खुल रहा है, सरकार अपने तरफ से कोशिश कर रहा है नॉर्मलसी को वापस ले आने में, लेकिन लोगों का मन में चिंता, भय, अनिश्चितता, ये सारी चीजें मिला हुआ एक इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी के ऊपर अलग से असर पड़ता है। और उस असर के दौरान जैसे आपका शुरुआत का सवाल था कि लोगों का ज्यादा जो टेंडेंसी रहेंगे वो ये रहेगा कि हम सेव करें मनी इस वक्त। अगर हमारे पास 10 रुपया है, 10 रुपया हम ना खर्च करके कोशिश करें उसको संभाल के रखने का, क्या पता स्थिति और अगर बिगड़ जाए या इस तरह का स्थिति और बनते रहे, 2 महीना का बदले, अगर 6 महीना चले, तो वी हैव टू स्ट्रेस दैट रूपी। तो ये एक सोच मैं मानता हूं कि इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी में तेजी ले आने के लिए फर्क बेशक पड़ेगा। हाँ, इसका एक मेजर ट्रिगर होगा सिर्फ भारत में नहीं, ग्लोबली वायरस को कंप्लीटली अटैक करने के लिए अगर वैक्सीन सही रूप से अगर आ जाए, तो जहाँ पे एक कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ हम कह सकते हैं कि हाँ ये दिस इज द एक्चुअल वैक्सीन जिसमें फर्क पड़ेगा। तो ये जो है वी शेप कर्व का जो ओवरऑल रिकवरी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तब शायद वो भी देखने को मिल जाए जहाँ पे लोगों को लगे कि हाँ अभी हम खतरे से पूरा बाहर है और चलो जाके हमारा जो प्लान्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट था, प्लान्ड एक्सपेंसेस था, वो सारे जाके शुरू कर सकते हैं बिकॉज दिस इज बिहाइंड अस नाउ। तो वो एक रिकवरी ट्रिगर डेट हम किसी को पता नहीं, हमें उम्मीद किया जा रहा है कि दिसंबर का पहले एक वैक्सीन के अनाउंसमेंट आएंगे, तो उसके ऊपर सिर्फ हम नहीं पूरा दुनिया निर्भर कर रहे हैं। और जब आप शायद यूएस मार्केट डिस्कस करेंगे उस वक्त मैं थोड़ा और टिप्पणी करना चाहूंगा वैक्सीन और यूएस इकोनॉमी के ऊपर भी, जो पूरा विश्व भर में एक अलग से प्रभाव डाल रहे हैं इस वक्त।
So, Jayanto, if you look at the immediate 3-4 events that the market is looking at, one, the US Fed Reserve is likely to publish its decision tonight at 11:30 p.m. India time.
Right.
That's one thing. The other thing is the F&O expiry that will happen tomorrow, where the traders would roll over their position from the July series to the August series. And the third thing is the new margin guidelines for the cash segment that kick in from August 1st. So these are the three main triggers from a purely trading and investment perspective in the stock markets. How do you see these three things affecting the markets in the next 1 week, 10 days?
See, all these triggers will have an impression of how overall the sentiments are. And I think it will be dominated out of the three by the FOMC guidelines, which are going to be published today at 11:30. And obviously there is not going to be much change because see, very important developments have happened in the U.S. economy in the last 1 week or so. And although the markets are not reflecting that completely, just like India, but the important, events or milestones which have happened is, the first question comes in is they are, tinkering with a second package, as we all know, right? Of around $1 trillion. Now the Democrats are not happy with the package. And so much so, even President Trump has, raised some red flags on the package. So with so much of confusion, there is a considerable, thought process which is parallelly floating around globally that the U.S. economy recovery has just not happened, and maybe the worst is yet to come. So those fears will dominate. I mean, I think your cash margin options and FNO obviously will have some local impact. There is no doubt on the domestic stock market rollover. But how the FMC guidelines come in will have surely a global impact. Secondly, in China, we had the largest hike yesterday compared to the last 3 months figure. Although the absolute number is quite small, but still it's a scare itself, specifically because the Hong Kong administration chief has gone on record saying, I think yesterday, today, saying that, Hong Kong is on the verge of a breakdown, infrastructure breakdown, if the pandemic at this stage of time doesn't take a deep reverse, towards lowering numbers. So if you start from Hong Kong, which is, one of the strong, indicators, milestones or landmarks of our East Asian trading businesses, and also sets the overall tone for trading in the, Asian markets. I think if you start from there, the fear spreads from there. Then you go to Europe. Now, Europe has been fairly stagnant because they have been watching closely both the East and the West, how they're behaving. And the numbers in Europe, while are controlled, they have not gone away. France, for example, had new additions of around 1,000 yesterday. And France is the size of, say, for example, a bit more than UP or a bit less than UP, somewhat like that. So, if a state like Uttar Pradesh rolls in 1,000 numbers is something to worry about. I think they are watching the situation very closely. What's important to understand is in the U.S., for example, it's been almost now, I think, 16 or 18 continuous weeks of over 1 million people, taking in their unemployment benefit. Mm-hmm. So that figure is refusing to come down. The other part which remains is the earnings. Some of the major corporate earnings over there have not aligned with what their expectations were. And third and most important factor, if the government is seriously going back for a $1 trillion economic package in the second round, means the first round has not worked enough for the government to feel happy that yes, the economy can take on its own. Because even in the second round, they plan those similar sort of triggers where they'll put in $1,200 in each and every unemployed person's account. Small businesses, till I think 100 employees will be given a direct benefit and a debt so that those small businesses don't chuck out these employees and things like that. So if those, things keep on coming, and we know how they have monetized this deficit, they are just printing cash. So these things have, a price to pay at the end of the day. The elections are not far away, and obviously the government is stretching out all its rabbits from its hat to ensure that, the economy doesn't tumble down. But these things also have a cost. So the huge way they are just printing notes and things like that. So there's a toil. And finally, the world will wake up to understand that toil. If not, a vaccine comes in before that, and the world celebrates so much in glee that you, me, and everyone just goes around throwing money and spending and buying, bringing a completely, the so-called magical V-shaped recovery. So these are very, very tough times, and I think at this point of time, this is much more tougher than during, say, April, when everything was shut down and people were almost in a state of semi-shock, trying to understand how the economy will settle down. Now, we got a fair sense of how the opening up of reversals have been. For example, in U.S., 22 states have gone back on their opening up plans. They have not closed down, but they're really going slow. Even the sunshine states of California, Florida, which are, relatively well-off states compared to the other ones, and have a very good income index and all, they are also facing similar problems of shutting down, or at least, slowing down the opening up process and things like that.
Gee.
So, unless those things can happen, even US had 1,000 deaths yesterday, under COVID. So, these are factors and triggers which we have to understand. And if you take a really broad view of how, this will shape up, I think the pandemic remains as one of the main factors of bringing in this huge fog of uncertainty in all our economy.
जी, जनता कुल मिलाकर वैक्सीन कितनी जल्दी आती है, इस पे बहुत कुछ निर्भर करेगा कि किस तरीके से देश और दुनिया की अर्थव्यवस्थाएं।
वैक्सीन के ऊपर जैसे बात कर रहे हैं, मॉडर्ना और फाइजर ने दोनों ने काफी अभी थर्ड फेज ऑफ ट्रायल्स उनको चल रहा है इस वक्त, और दोनों को गवर्नमेंट से मैसिव सपोर्ट मिला है जी। और इनफैक्ट काफी सारे वैक्सीन कंपनीज को लोकल नेशनल गवर्नमेंट से सपोर्ट अपना मिल रहा है। बट ये है कि स्थिति ऐसा है कि जितना भी जल्दी आप करें, अक्टूबर से दिसंबर का वक्त लग जाएंगे अगर कोई सक्सेसफुल वैक्सीन के बारे में अगर हम बात करते तो आने के लिए। थोड़ा अगर और पहले आ जाता तो शायद हमें कुछ और अच्छा ट्रिगर्स मिल जाए जहां पे हम बात कर सकते हैं कि कितना जल्दी हम रिकवरी का स्टेज में पहुंच सकते हैं।
जी जयंत, और अब एशियाई शेयर बाजारों की बात कर लेते हैं तो आज यहाँ मिला जुला रुख देखने को मिला। कोरोना वायरस महामारी के कारण कंपनियों की आमदनी उम्मीदों से कम रहने के चलते अर्थव्यवस्था पर पड़ने वाले व्यापक प्रभाव से चिंताएं बढ़ी हैं। चीन के शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स ने 2.1% की आज बढ़त दर्ज की। हांगकांग के हैंगसेंग में आधा % और दक्षिण कोरिया के कोस्पी में 0.3% की बढ़त देखने को मिली। वहीं दूसरी तरफ जापान का निकेई 1.2% लुढ़क गया और सिंगापुर का स्टेट्स टाइम्स 0.4% नीचे आ गया। यूरोपीय बाजारों में आज हालांकि तेजी का रुख रहा, लेकिन कोविड-19 के नए मामले सामने आने से निवेशकों ने एहतियात बरती। साथ ही अमेरिकी फेडरल रिजर्व की नीति संबंधी बैठक के नतीजों का भी निवेशकों को इंतजार है। अंतर्देशीय कारोबार में आज लंदन के फुटसी में 0.3% की वृद्धि देखी गई। फ्रांस के कैक में 0.8% और जर्मनी के डैक्स में 0.1% की मामूली बढ़त रही।
Let's look at the rupee now.
जी,
The Indian rupee today gained 4 paise to settle at 74 rupees 80 paise against the US dollar. The domestic unit appreciated, tracking weakness in the American currency. And we have been discussing US a lot today. Let's look at the US market as well. The US stocks declined yesterday as investors eyed weakening consumer confidence and a disappointing business updates, as well as a smaller than hoped for coronavirus aid plan from the US Senate. The blue chip Dow Jones fell 0.8%, the S&P 500 slipped 0.7%, while the Nasdaq Composite Index declined 1.3%. Of course, the Fed Reserve story is probably the bigger story, and the stimulus that you mentioned, Jayanto. But the other thing that's happening there is the congressional hearing of the CEOs of Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google, where they're trying to look at excessive power in the hands of these giant companies. And we have seen that if you see the last 10, 11 years, there's been a almost secular bull run in the US, and largely driven by tech companies, the FANG stocks as they call them. What is the impact of this particular congressional hearing that you might see on the US markets and probably Nasdaq in particular?
Well, the congressional hearing on these companies specifically, it's part of a broader goal in terms of specifically for the last 2 years, whereby these companies are being thoroughly analyzed. Investigated is the wrong word, because congressional hearings is more or less of an exchange of question answer sessions, trying to clarify and all, and then it may be triggered off with some specific accusations if they believe so would happen. But then these are once again would go on. I mean, they would definitely not have an immediate impact, but yes, if some of the observations are tweaked and changed in between, and where the government actually steps up the gas in terms of taking action, then obviously we can see a limited some of them getting beaten down in the Nasdaq indices and things like that. But I think if you ask me very, very frankly, and if I speak from my heart, this is more or less, as a lot of Americans also got to believe it, it's more or less a political activity, which we keeps on happening parallelly with whatever industrial activity happens, because these are giant companies, and obviously nations are specifically, the executive enjoys to ask questions to these giant companies in terms of what the common people believe they have wrongly brought in power to their hands which otherwise shouldn't have. But then these are new days. Over the last 2 decades, we have seen such challenges coming up, and these technology challenges have to be carefully monitored, and we have to ask the right questions. But I don't think majorly it will shake any sort of a thing. But yes, it's an ongoing process. The media follows it very closely, because these are companies, which had shaped our way of living, yours and mine too. And I guess that's important.
And many analysts and people who analyze the US market feel that although these can be seen as important events, the Fed meeting or the Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google subcommittee meeting, but the big event that's going to come is in November, and that's the elections in US president. A lot of things are predicated on that. So just take us through the top 2, 3 things that might change based on a result either way, Trump or Biden, for US and therefore for India.
Well, see,
economically.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, I will focus on that, not on the political part. What's important to understand is, India has always had a fair share. Although, if you look at in terms of figures, accord signs and all, the Republicans have dished out much more to India, whenever they've come in power. But at the same time, the world is changing very fast because when, say George Bush was there, George Bush's regime, we didn't have the impact of Facebook and Google to such an extent as we have now. And let's not forget, all political decisions are also now majorly driven by your markets. And, given the, bridges burned with China, India is one of the world's largest markets for most of these US companies. As a result of which, I personally believe that Facebook obviously took interest and partnered with Reliance because Facebook doesn't have such a chance to enter China whatsoever in this next 5 years, forget the long term, even in the next 5 years. So I believe that's where, governments, be it a Democrat president or be it a Republican president, which means continuation of Trump, I think that's where the governments would like to sit up, watch, react, and take calls. So from India's perspective, I think the India of today, compared to what India, say, 15 or 20 years ago was, is completely different. We all know that. And I guess the present market which has been thrown up and the new interest which the Facebook and Google are taking in terms of investments, not only directly but also through major Indian companies in India, are a reflection of where the trade is going to flow. So, irrespective of the election results, I think the India-US business relationships would grow to new heights.
Of course, the oil market is another market that is in focus in our program. The oil prices today rose after a surprise drop in US crude inventories, but demand concerns amid record increases in COVID-19 infections in some US states capped gains. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $43.70 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were around $41.50 per barrel. Quickly, Jayanto, where do you see, of course, it becomes a kind of a automatic question that we ask about oil, but we have seen extreme fluctuations. The minus 37 also we saw for a day, and now we are almost the other end of the number line. We are almost at plus 43. So where do you see in the medium term, 3 to 5, because this the crude prices is critical for India. Where do you see it in the medium term, 3 to 6 months?
Well, I believe that, there is a strong technical support immediately at the 42 level, although it has breached that support and gone down. But, if I look at most of the reports, and let me, share my views based on those reports, most of them believe that oil, if actually has to be discussed, is not very soon coming up to the $50 levels, which some of the analysts were talking of. Most of them believe, and I've read at least some good 7, 8, 10 reports, over the last 1 week or so on where oil prices headed. Most of them believe it is going to remain at the lower band of $40 levels. And that's the important thing to understand. For India, I think we should see the next quarter at an average pricing between 38 to 42 levels.
और अब सराफा बाजार की बात कर ले हैं तो आज सोने में तेजी का सिलसिला जारी रहा। दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में सोना 710 रुपए महंगा हुआ। 24 कैरेट सोने का मूल्य 53,797 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम रहा। चांदी भी 313 रुपए की मजबूती से 65,540 रुपए प्रति किलो के स्तर पर पहुंच गई। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में सोने का मूल्य $1,958 प्रति औंस, जबकि चांदी $24.27 प्रति औंस रही। जनता, बहुत संक्षेप में आपसे टिप्पणी चाहेंगे कि पिछले 7 कारोबारी दिनों में सोने में 3,248 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम का उछाल है। क्या अब आप सोने को कहां रुकता हुआ देखते हैं? कहां तक पहुंचेगा सोना, ये ऊंचाइयां?
ये मेरे लिए कहना मुश्किल है, लेकिन ये बेशक बात सही है कि डॉलर का नरमी रहते हुए सोने का तरफ जिस तरह के निवेशकों के जो रुचि बने हैं वो में बरकरार रहेगा। ऊंचाई तक ये कहां तक ले जा पाएंगे निर्भर करेगा आज एफओएमसी का क्या डायरेक्टिव रहता है इकोनॉमी के ऊपर, और उसके ऊपर भी थोड़ा बहुत निर्भर करेंगे। लेकिन ये जरूर है कि बहुत जल्दी एक करेक्शन आने वाला है सोने का प्राइसेस में।
जी जयंता, समय की कमी है, आपसे और भी हम जानकारी लेना चाहते थे, लेकिन समय के चलते हम अब कार्यक्रम को यहीं समाप्त करना चाहेंगे। जयंता, कार्यक्रम में शामिल होने और बहुमूल्य जानकारी देने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Jayanto. Before we close, a reminder of the headlines. Equity benchmarks log losses of around 1%. Sensex falls 422 points. Nifty slips 98 points. Ahead of the US Fed meet, global stocks remain mixed amid concerns of surging COVID-19 infections. and gold rises to 53,797 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital. That's all that we have in this edition of Market Mantra. Namaskar.
Market Mantra. Market Mantra.